a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at US Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with their opponents. With my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we have arrived in another new season. I had a little more pep in my step this morning. I know you did as well. Here we go.
Yeah, when you went out for your 5-mile jog, you were flying. You did it in record time because you were psyched up about this game. But let's be frank about it. No more radio shows, no more podcasts, no more just predicting what's going to happen. Now we get to see it on the field.
The ball on the tee, we're set for football. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line. So here come the Vikings with a long field ahead of them. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Under pressure, and down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line. And these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot. And they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
Keeps himself upright. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw.
And he'll get this underneath to Thompson.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
A 40-yard punt, no return, and possession will switch hands, first and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4 quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, when the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Now a dump off here complete. A good gain on first, has him set up with second, and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Broken tackle.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They go play action here on first down.
The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. Well, they tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. Looking to throw. Edmonds. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Edmonds. And that will be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And this will be scooped up by the defense. And did he get in? No. They'll mark him down at the 1-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. And really, you can't have a better situation than this. 1st and goal at the 1. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Aviators have taken the early lead. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score it. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in.
Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
London about set to take over on offense. They've got to be saying, boy, thanks for this field position.
Yeah, remember their last drive in which they scored a touchdown. That one also began in excellent field position, so let's see if they can capitalize a second time.
Trucks over him and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
He's taken down at the 17-yard line. A 2-yard gain on the play.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
Well, let's talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will make it 10-0 here in the first. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
He takes this for 3 to the 29.
He's tackled at the 29-yard line. That's a gain of 3.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
London about set to take over on offense. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. They'll get only a couple down to the 44. 2nd down and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
Off play action. Edmonds. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Edmonds. And that is incomplete. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt.
Well, this lines up in empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Hand off to Thompson. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, he's got a big leg, and when everything comes together, he can certainly hit from long range, but this one's going to come up just a little bit short. A very good effort, though.
London about set to take over on offense.
Yeah, they were in field goal range the last time out, but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. To throw on 3rd down, Edmonds. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Hands it off out of the gun. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, he'll hand this off. About 3 yards there to the 27.
He was tackled at the 27-yard line. A 3-yard gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down. That's the
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now, and it's London with the football. The offense on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, it's still a good-sized lead, so they haven't necessarily needed him, but this is now 2 missed field goals for him in this game so far.
Yeah, and the question now is, will he be prepared when they do need it? Whether that's later in this game or sometime down the line, having a kicker you can count on is definitely imperative.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
On 2nd down now, it's Thompson. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw here. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They give it here to Thompson. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Back to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch a game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They toss it to Thompson. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. He needed 2, but he doesn't come anywhere close. And as a result, possession switches hands. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Edmonds got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Here's a handoff out of the gun. Finding some room at midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 43 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
Throwing on 1st down. Edmonds. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive
to help get him on the ground.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. And to give this time to the tailback. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. Ball resting on the 10-yard line. It's 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
Looking to throw. Edmonds. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
Edmonds. Let's go, baby. Complete to number 8. First and
Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6.
It's a nice second effort we just saw there. So I'm trying to get to the end zone, but a lot of times near the goal line, that second effort can lead to disaster. Make sure you hold on to the football because there's going to be guys swarming when you're carrying it.
To throw on 2nd down. Edmonds. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. A gigantic sack on 3rd and goal. A loss of 12. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. And his kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first-half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps. And the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
We'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd and 6. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 1.
On 3rd down, it's Thompson. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield.
For a lot of
different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on third down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
The Vikings on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. He'll drop to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, trying to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead? Not so fast. That pick six really changes the complexion. Probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now. Probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Now the try here for the extra point. And that'll make it 13-7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. London about set to take over on offense. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. On first down, Edmonds. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second. I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? And we usually talk about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out?
They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And a pretty good run, all things considered. Probably would have liked that in the first quarter instead of right now as the clock continues to run. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. A final shot before break. Edmonds. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And the Vikings are going to get the football back as time will run out in this third quarter of play.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around.
All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 86 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Something to watch here in Week 1 of the season. tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
On 1st and 10, Edmonds. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. Back to throw. Edmonds. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
That would be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the 3rd quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. And on now is the punter, standing just outside his own goal line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Calling a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. And he can't escape, and down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch is taken here, a step or two inside the 45-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. London about set to take over on offense. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. Edmonds. Quick hitter here. It's complete.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Edmonds. And quick throw here, that's complete. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver. Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Right back to him on 1st down. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. A giant hole up the middle. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 120 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Edmonds. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down. Edmonds. He's got it. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. They stop him on 4th and goal at the 3. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. Well, they knew who to turn to on 4th down. Their horse, they needed the short yardage. He just couldn't get it.
And that's a surprise because normally that's bread and butter for them, right? Hand it to the big guy, let him go, pick up the 1st down. Didn't get it there. All credit to the defense. Usually, even if they know he's coming, he can't be stopped, and they got it done on that play.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. So a little more space to operate now. 1st and 10 from right around the 12.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the short catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Give it 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. They'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And it's a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. On play action, they'll throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big play that time through the air. 35 yards.
Well, he reminded us that he was a 1,000-yard receiver a year ago as he starts off week 1 picking up right where he left off. He told us at the end of the preseason he was primed for a big year. He just gave us excellent evidence of his belief.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. And a throw right sideline is complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. CD, you remember John Elway?
Oh, boy. How could I forget John Elway and how many NFL defenses is so glad he's no longer throwing the ball around.
Well, Elway threw for 51,475 yards, and we just saw him go past that number for career passing yards.
That means his career now as memorable as John Elway's, and that's a pretty significant accomplishment.
Man, what an accomplishment it is. Congratulations. And he's still doing it at a high level.
Game 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
Again, a run with Thompson. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 16-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings have tied it. They can grab the lead with a PAT.
A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will put them on top here in the third. So that drive goes 8 plays and was polished off by the touchdown run from the 16-yard line. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. London about set to take over on offense. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Edmonds. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 37. Back to throw again. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 21. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Edmonds. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9.
Enough to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So 3rd down, and a field goal from here would be right about 50 yards as they try to get closer.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for a 4th quarter lead. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And now out comes Minnesota.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
First play of the drive is a run with Thompson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now back to throw. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
London about set to take over on offense. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage.
And to give this time to the tailback. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And did he get in? No. Down at the 1-yard line.
151 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away.
And the Aviators use the short field to get in for 6.
And that's why you have the fullback, Charles. Couldn't get it in the play before with the smaller guy. Turned to a little more power. They score it.
And now it has to warm the hearts of a lot of old school football fans. They love when they get to see a little bit of power football.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes this a 9-point game. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Taken at the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors. yet still play perfect football.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. The Vikings on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. The fullback dive held up short. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Edmonds. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Aviators are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along. We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off at the 33. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown right there.
Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
Extra point attempt to come here. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week one because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside themselves right now. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Oh, he stays up. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. A lot of ground to cover. 2nd and 22.
52's the mark, boys. 52.
They'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down.
17 yards on the play. It's now.
They'll look to throw here. Escapes the sack. It'll be a loss of 13 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Keep playing hard.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. London about set to take over on offense. And this has been quite a performance to kick off the new year on the road, no less, as they try to finish things off here in the 4th quarter. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there.
Keep playing hard.
He's tackled at the 40-yard line.
You said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle, then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in week one, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season, the advantage definitely goes to the offense.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And some space here. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there with now 3 week 1 touchdowns. And the Aviators are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive. Now the try here for the point after. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Vikings ready to go again on offense. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he comes back with one complete. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. From the gun, he'll hand this off. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Mike 17.
And he'll give it here to his running back. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Mike 41. We've got to wedge that, huh? Hey, here I come. Here I come.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Why were they clicking on offense?
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for our visitors, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't ask for much more than that to start the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try again next week at home against